his grades and they're D's and F's right now. Like, school's been in session for 2 weeks.
And he's missed a week.
And he's missed a week of it. What do you expect?
Pat Hutto said, "Hello, Dave L. Please do not be concerned about the school problems. Trust God, the school staff have to give the answers that they have given.
Am I on the wrong channel?
People may agree or disagree."
Okay, guys, let's see.
It says we're live, but I don't see anything.
I'm getting an ad, so I'll
refresh.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Today we are talking about the difference between 93%, 80%, and 73% ground beef. I apologize for the delay. I was just having a shouting match with the principal at the assistant principal at school.
And tomorrow we go to level 2 support.
And tomorrow we go to the principal of the school.
Okay.
So, all right. So let's get started. All right. So what is the difference? Everyone says which is the best deal? 93%, 80%, or 73% ground beef. Now, the majority of the people will tell you 80% is the better deal. But I am going to show you guys what the best deal is, and we're going to use science to show this.
Real science, not like that fake science.
Real science, not fake science. Even with a scale, so you can see it. All right, so let's get started. I've got my 3 pans on here. And I'm turning them all on. Let me move my cute little snowman there so we don't get grease on there. Okay, so I have my 93% lean ground beef. Now, what does that mean?
So
That
how are you
means...
going to do this test?
Huh?
How are you going to do this test? Did you tell them?
No, I'm going to say that in just a second. So 93% means it only has 7% fat, okay? So, let's see. Here's 93% right here going in this pan.
Can I eat all the hamburger when they're done?
Can you eat all the hamburger? You're going to eat
do a
3
taste?
pounds of hamburger.
Can you do a taste test of each and tell them which one tastes the best?
Which one
for a
tastes the
better
best?
deal?
Okay, so I've got my 93% in. Now, 80% lean. That means that 20% of this is supposed to be fat. And 80% beef and 20% fat. Now, I weighed all of these ahead of time so that I would make sure that they actually all had the same amount, okay? And they did. And the package must weigh 0.9 ounces because they were all 1.9. Okay, 1 pound, 0.9 ounces. All right, now 70%, let's see, 73% means it has 27% fat, okay? All right, now let me show you here real quick. Let me wash my hands. Okay, let me show you real quick because you can visibly see the difference. Okay, look at this. You can visibly see how much darker this one is compared to the 80 and 70%.
That's the 93?
That's 93, 80, and then 73. You can visibly see how the fat makes it more lighter, okay? So, there's that. Okay. So, how am I going to prove which one is cheaper? Oops, I got a piece on the thing. Okay, so first let me get it all chopped up. Oh, this is the perfect job!
So don't break the glass top.
That's alright, we'll send a Skoy bill!
So Amy's asking, does your beef contain any fillers or is it pure beef? It's pure beef.
Pure beef.
But it's differing fat content. They market it in America with 73% beef versus 27% fat.
Yep.
And then 80-20 and 93-7.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so here's a couple of things. How I'm going to do this is I'm cooking them all up. Then I'm going to take each one and drain the fat into these little bowls. And then I'm going to weigh the leftover beef and see how much is left. And then we'll see how much and what is actually cheaper. I have a calculator right here. Mike paid.
I only did it for the test. I didn't do this.
Are you kidding me?
You said get a pound of each, so I did.
He paid $6.29 for the 93%. He paid $4.49 for the 80%, and he paid. It just did it. He paid $3.99 for the 73%. Now, I will say, normally, I never pay more than $1.99 a pound for ground beef. And normally I try to get, or I used to try to get only 99 cents. But since living in Colorado, we have not had the ground beef sales. You would think with all the cows we have here, they would. But we don't have the ground beef sales like we used to in Kansas, okay?
Dave had a question.
Yes.
Well, Caliber says 93% beef here in central Illinois is $4.50.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now,
Simply Joyful says $6.29 by steak.
I know.
Absolutely.
I know. Well, and here's the thing. It would be cheaper to buy a steak sometimes and have it ground up. Now these
Is
are
that organic? I know. It's not.
It's not.
That's the cheap stuff.
That is $8.99 a pound here. So
And yes, somebody was asking, those are Kroger packages, and we did get it from our Kroger store, which in Colorado is King Soopers.
and it was not on sale.
Not on sale.
Not on sale.
And we never buy it, not on sale. We just did this because we're doing a test for the show. So we never pay this much for beef, except at a restaurant. A very expensive restaurant.
We're doing a science experiment and then we can...
We never go to very expensive restaurants.
Did we make a hypothesis? I don't think we made a hypothesis.
Do we need to make a
This
hypothesis?
is the vital part of the scientific method, everyone.
As we're starting your homeschooling tonight, should we start a hypothesis?
Heather
Yes,
says, I
let's do
can't
it.
find ground beef for $1.99 anywhere, not even Aldi. I forgot where you live, Heather.
Now, I will say, when we were living in Kansas, I could get ground beef for 99 cents all the time. All the time. As a matter of fact, I even found it one time for 50 cents and 75 cents a pound. And when I did, I bought 200 pounds and I filled up my mom's freezer, my freezer, and my sister-in-law's freezer with it. I just bought everything they had. It was the day after Christmas. And so on those kinds, I do. But I don't get it for 99 anymore.
Holy
Amy T
cow.
says, in Australia, anything other than beef has to be listed in the ingredients, so some brands like to add things like cereals and stuff. Yes, in America,
Ground beef.
they have to be listed too, and we look at the ingredients and it just says ground beef.
Yes.
But
Here,
we
you
actually
want us
got-
to prove it to you? Here.
But
where's
Dave and I
the-
were testing a different thing the other day where we ended up getting ground
Okay,
beef patties.
right there. Right there. Can you see it? Ground beef.
Hold on, let me see if they can see it.
Can you see that? Ground beef.
Not sure.
Well, anyway, it's on there, believe
But
me.
Dave and I, here you can put other things in the. They can put other things in the beef again, like you said in Australia, if they list what those things are. So we were trying two different kinds of hamburger patties because I was just going to get the 100% beef, but there was one that had wheat and a few other things in it in a smaller amount, and I was just curious because the calories were a lot less. If I ate it, what would it do to me? So that's a separate test that Dave and I were doing.
And they actually weren't too bad.
Now, I will tell you, the 93% is cooking the fastest because it doesn't have the extra fat in it. So this one's probably going to be done before the other two are on there. Okay, go ahead.
Oops, I missed something. Eek, adjust your sound. Uh-oh, are we too loud?
Well,
Oh, hold on a second. I turned up the sound from what it was set at earlier, so let me switch into there and adjust that real quick.
Oh, sorry.
I'm in fighting mode, so I can talk louder.
All right now.
So I'm
Sound
sorry we were
Skill's
late,
close
guys.
for today.
I'm sorry we were late.
Hopefully that's better on the sound. I turned it down just a little.
The
So.
school called me 15 minutes before we went on, and I had to have it out with them. And I did.
But you
I'll
just
tell
couldn't
you.
wait for me to have it out with them.
I'm sorry. I am hacked.
Let's see. You're not from Kansas anymore, Linda said.
Yeah, no kidding. Ow! That hurt.
Cows are going to go on strike. Cows probably love the high prices on beef. then they know they're okay. Eat more chicken. Yeah, Wendy, I do.
Chicken is amazing.
Let's see. Where's Jill today? Is your mom not on? I didn't.
She's not on. She's not feeling good. She found out she has to get a brand new heater. Her heater died today, and they told her it is not fixable, so she has to get a brand new heater.
Do we have the ground beef masher?
And yeah.
Is it already on our thing?
I thought it was. I don't know. She kind of got sick having to deal with that, and so I don't know that she's going to be on. Oh, well, maybe not. Okay.
I forgot to do the show notes today too.
Oh no.
Here.
Okay.
Ground beef.
So.
What do we call it? Masher?
Yeah. Ground beef chopper.
Wait.
Ground beef chopper.
Oh.
All right. So this one's almost done. Let me see. I'm having a hard.
This one right here, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to share that link. Somebody was asking about the ground beef chopper, and I'm a little behind on the comments, so I just discovered it.
Deals and Meals says, missed the beginning of the show. Is there any new school drama?
Oh yes, we'll be sharing that later.
Drama.
We're trying to get the beef
Let me
part
just
up
say
for...
we're late because I was having it out with the school before the show.
Okay, I just shared the link for the ground beef chopper. I'm going to try in a few minutes to go over and update the show notes because in the midst of all the chaos.
Okay, so now surprisingly, they all actually in the end cooked about the same amount of time, which I thought this one for sure would be way more done, but it's...
Because of the fat?
Yeah, well, because there is no fat, but...
Oh, I was thinking the other one would be more done because the fat would cook it faster.
Well, that's what I would think, but...
Leah Goes wants to know, are you going to homeschool?
Well, we're going to wait and see what the principal has to say. Okay, so here we go.
Do you like grass-fed beef, if everyone wants to know? We don't dislike it, we just don't buy it.
It's good, it's just not worth the price for me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take...
Whoa,
can you get my strainer on?
There's a big visual difference here.
Can you get my... I think it's in the dishwasher. Forgot my strainer. Where is my strainer? The strainer's missing.
I don't know, I could get you a spatula.
Let me see if my spare strainer is in here. It is not. Oh, who walked off with my strainer?
Okay, so Heidi, today Tara is in the United States. You can buy ground beef in 3 different types. You can buy it with a little bit of where they take most of the fat out of it, which is 93% fat-free, and then they have 80% and 73%. And people are always confused as to which one is the better price. So Tara's cooking all 3 of them, so we can see how it works out.
Okay. Can you see the scale here, guys? All right. Okay, so I'm tearing my scale, which means when you put your bowl on it, it doesn't count the weight of the bowl, okay?
Look at the camera. I can't see.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, we'll get the camera down.
Put it down a little more. Sorry, we're headless now, but we needed to... Oh, wait, up. Up some more.
We're having some camera technical difficulties.
Okay, that's probably good. Now you can see it and sort of see us too.
You ready? All right, so now we're going to drain the fat out of the 93.
The computer. The 93% doesn't have anything to drain.
Okay.
Well, that's cool.
All right. Well, there's nothing to drain. All right. So, are we still teared? Okay, so now the 83%. Well, man, there's not much in here.
Susanna, you did not yet miss which one is best. We're testing it now. Tara was just cooking all 3 of them, and now she's measuring to see how much fat is left from all of them.
Nothing's coming out.
Well, instead of measuring the fat, you should measure the beef to see what
I know,
you
but I got to
get.
drain the fat out.
Oh, okay.
There's no fat. Okay. I thought for the 80% for sure. Okay, so now for the 70%. Here we go. Okay, what is going on? I know there is fat in this one.
It's all stuck to the side.
It's all the school's fault. Okay, hold on. Let me...
You can at least see inside the all the fat. It's all stuck to the bottom of the fat.
Okay. There's really nothing to drain.
Maybe you roasted the fat. Wait, which one is that? Which one of fat is that?
This is the 70%.
Oh,
Always the.
so this was the meat chopper you said the other day. Should I share that one instead?
Yeah.
Guys, nothing.
Thank you for keeping me on track there, Heidi. So the link I shared was for the meat chopper that Tara is actually using, but she recommended a less expensive one the other day, so I'm going to share that link as well.
Simply Joyful says.
Okay, let's try this.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Simply Joyful says they usually get 80%, the 80 and 20% because it has a better taste, but it's not as
Okay,
good.
so that was the next thing I was going to address is taste. And
Oh, Elizabeth wanted to see how you use the chopper.
you just take your ground beef and you just go like this
Hold on, let me
and
see
get
if
all
I can
chopped
see this
up.
on camera. Oh yeah.
In your pan. You just do that. Okay, so let me drain it this way since I'm having issues draining with my lid. And we'll go that direction and we'll see how much fat we get out.
Linda says giggle so much for science.
I know.
Lynn says I can't wait to see which meat wins.
Okay, so let me do it this way since it's not cooperating with me.
That's what 20 minutes of the show for it to settle down.
Do we have a moment for a different question?
Yes.
Brenda's asking, sorry to bring this question from another live show, but when you freeze bread, do you freeze it in the packages that it comes in, or do you repackage it? We just toss it in the freezer in the package.
Yeah.
So, and it works out great as long as the package isn't cut or anything.
So
Yeah.
what did 80% fat and 20% lean?
Okay, there we go.
Lucy asked, did BJ clean the fish tank with your strainer again?
Yeah. Oh.
So we're getting a few questions about what we're making. So what we're doing today is we're testing ground beef, the 73%, the 80%, and the 93% to see which one is less expensive. And Tara cooked all three, and now she's going to weigh them to see what that weight is afterwards, and then we're going to compare the price to the weight. Let's see how it comes out.
Okay, so where did the fat go? That's what I don't know, because I know that ain't no 7% fat.
Hey, I know.
Wait, where did that came out of the 93%?
This came out of the 70%.
Well, at the fat, a lot of it's probably still in the meat. So,
Very
like,
interesting.
if you have a heart condition, that's probably why you have to pay more for the 93%.
Okay, so here is, we're tearing our thing.
Susanna says you cooked it at high temperature, so probably not much fat left. That's true. I didn't think about it.
Oh, I cooked it off.
Yeah, that's
You
what
rendered it.
Oh,
That's what I do with my hamburgers. There's always that.
Okay. Well, there you go. My experiment was ruined. Now the school can say I'm a schmuck for a mother.
No, because you're not. I would measure the meat because
Okay.
you're not buying the fat.
0.5 fat
What you
in
want
this
is
one.
the meat.
Yeah, you want
Okay,
to
so let's measure the meat.
It has the fat inside of it.
Tear.
Except wait, you have to get the right exact measurement, or else that's not gonna be correct.
Okay. So let me put my
A lot of people say
Meat.
that.
in here.
James says if you take a paper towel, you can see all that comes out of it.
Yes. Okay, so now we have 11 ounces
So, in which
on
one
the
is this?
70%. Okay, so let's write that
so
down.
5 of the 16 ounces melted or
Okay, so
cooked out.
73%, we have 11 ounces of beef left, okay? So now let's drain the 83%.
It's funny because I used we've proven it for the title, but we're proving it now.
Well, I was doing that for actually later.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so now I'm draining the 80%, which there really isn't anything, yeah, there's nothing in here. Okay, you can see I didn't even get a quarter of a teaspoon. Okay.
And then I brought up another variable issue.
What?
You forgot to measure the temperature. They're not all the same temperature. You can't do it right.
She cooked them
because-
all the same.
Oh, she cooked them all.
I put them all on the same temperature on the stove.
Good.
Should I not have done that way?
No, that's fine.
I thought that might work, but I don't know. Maybe because I use different pans, it may not have. Okay.
That looks about the same.
So, on the 80%,
This is 9.7 ounces.
it is 9.7 ounces. Okay. 80%, what is it? 9.7. 9.7 of beef, okay? So 30, 70, okay? So now, I'll just do it just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that the 90% doesn't have anything. I need some calming tea.
Some calming tea.
Okay, so now, let me just squish this out and see.
Jamie's on.
Hi, Jamie.
Hey, my friend! I bought you a birthday present. Okay, nothing either on the 90%, okay? So, let's tear out our thing here. Tear.
Okay, sorry everyone, I just updated the show notes, so if you missed any of the links, and I'm going to keep sharing them for various things, you can go to show notes and they will be there.
Okay, so we have 10.7 ounces of the 93%. 93%, 10.7 ounces. Now, okay, so now we have how much actual meat was in all of these, all right? But I'm going to do one more test, okay? So another way to save on fat in your ground beef, especially when you have the higher fat content of the 73%, is to rinse your beef, and then it washes out some of the fat. Okay, so I'm going to get my water really, really hot.
A couple people were confused. I don't think they put water in it. I think that what just happened is when you cook it, the fat kind of evaporates. So there's some fat that's left in it, but the reason why Tara couldn't squeeze a lot of fat out of any of them is because most of it had evaporated.
Because I cooked it on high. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to rinse. Is my water hot? My water is not hot yet.
Heidi's dad is watching. Hey!
Hello! Well, hi, Heidi's dad. You
Great
have a
to meet
great
you.
daughter. It's nice to meet you. Okay, hold on. My water's still not hot. Hold on.
So I wasn't paying attention to the weight thing because I was doing something else. How did they work out?
Okay, so the 73% had 11 ounces of beef, the 80% had 9.7 ounces of beef, and the 93 had 10.7 ounces of beef.
What?
I know.
How did the 93% get less when it
I
had
know.
less fat in the first place?
Isn't that funny? So that's why I'm going to rinse it. Okay.
You're gonna rinse
already
it.
hot. Okay, so now I have hot water, so I'm going to rinse my beef now.
Maybe because the 7% didn't render out as easily because it's hard to get it any less than that.
That's possible, yeah. Okay. All right, so I have it rinsed. You can see there's no beef in the water.
So Tara is over rinsing it to see if it works out differently.
Let me get it. Okay, are we teared? Okay, we're teared.
Jamie wants to know if you bought her a new car.
Oh, Jamie, I wish I could buy you a new car. When I make my millions, I'll buy everybody who has car problems a new car. Well, that I know. Okay, so I think I got most of it squeezed out. All right, so this is the 93%. And we have not squeezed it all out, obviously, because it weighs more than when it was. Okay, hold on. Let me squeeze it all out.
You cooked them all for the same amount of time. Yeah, Heidi, I was wondering about that too. Why it should be lighter, but so that's what Tara is doing with the water test. The thing is, my suspicion is that when it's 30% fat or 27% fat, that the more fat comes off, and when it's 7% fat, I think they've processed it enough where it's hard to get much more fat out of it. Would be my guess.
Okay, same. Oh no, that says.
Susan says the world needs more fat people, not fat people.
Okay, so now it's 1 4 when I rinsed it.
Wait, what? Because it's water's in it.
Because the water's in it. So should I just go with the numbers without rinsing it?
Well, I guess. But that's
Usually
just
what
kinda
I do
strange.
is I cook it off. I cook the water off.
Do you want me to go push down the top and make sure that nothing
I push
liquid is
pretty
in
hard.
it?
Okay, so
Than
now...
you.
Heidi wrote the
Okay.
taste test.
Okay, so here we go. Hold on.
Jill says, who knew cooking ground beef would be this fascinating?
My mom or somebody else?
No, different Jill.
Different Jill. Okay, so now we've got it all weighed, all the stove is turned off. Okay,
Yes, Christina, they were all 1 pound when we started.
okay, and here you go, Buster. Have a heyday. There you go, dude.
Jamie said the hamburger absorbs the water.
Yeah, I think the hamburger absorbed the water. So
So before we did the hamburger,
Dead camera.
interestingly enough, even if you assume sorry, is that good with the camera, dear?
yeah.
Okay. Even if you assume,
sorry.
well, when Tara measured them after draining, did you push when you were draining
really
them?
hard, yeah.
So when Tara was draining them, she pushed really hard, and only thing, there was a tiny little bit of fat that came out of the 70%, and the rest of it, the fat just cooked off. But 73% is 11 ounces of beef out of the 16 original ounces. 80% was 9.7 ounces out of the 16.
Yeah.
Strange that it would be less. And then 93% was 10.7.
Well, here, you want me to
but-
make sure that the 80%?
But but I have another thought on this. Even if the margin of error made it off somehow, still they all ended up with nearly the same amount at the end.
Okay, so let's pour the 80%. Let's make sure
Here.
the 80%. Yeah, I know. It's weird,
So
isn't
if it's
it?
all about the same amount, then you just have to say which ones cost less.
9.6. That's right. Did I read it right?
Yeah. Are you sure that all those bowls weigh the same?
Yeah, I tared it so that it was 0.
No, but you tested each bowl to make sure they all weigh the same.
I tared it, so when you tear it, it goes to 0 when the bowl's on there.
Right, but what I'm saying is, does this bowl weigh exactly the same as that
It doesn't
bowl?
matter.
Yeah. Oh.
It
Oh,
doesn't
you
matter.
teared it with the bowl on there.
Yeah, I
Oh,
teared
you're
it with
right.
the bowl on there.
Okay, that makes sense. Right, I got you
Okay,
now.
so here, let's...
I'm following you now.
Okay, so now we're going to do the math. Okay, so you make sure, because you're the mathematician, make sure I do this right, okay? All right, so for the 93%, we paid $6.29, $6.29, divided by
That's just painful.
10.7 is, ooh, 58 cents per ounce. Okay, so now we paid 4.49 and we divided it by 9.7 ounces. Ooh, 46%.
46 cents an ounce.
Or 46 cents. Okay, here we go. Oh, we need to do a dermal. 3.99 divided by 11 ounces. I love it when I'm right.
Oh, wait. Jimmy said...
I'm so happy.
Jimmy...
73% is a better deal, people.
Wait, but...
Okay.
Well,
So here's the deal: 93% was 58 cents a pound, 58 cents an ounce. 80% was
You're just
46
showing me
cents an ounce, and 73% was 36
But hold
cents an ounce. You see
now,
that?
even if you assume some error here,
Yes.
even
Okay,
if you assume
taste.
some error here on the amount of weight,
They said
they're
take it back up.
very close to the same amount of weight
Yeah.
They said
afterwards.
They
Yeah.
said you should let the water evaporate because it absorbs the water. And I-
Well, yeah, but I mean, we're just gonna go on the pre-rinsing. Okay, so now we're gonna do taste. All right.
Dave wants
So
to do this.
hold on. I did. I salted it.
Taste.
Yeah, to see if they taste any different.
Well, one thing I was looking online
Yeah, you
at
get blindfolded.
some beef. That,
Yeah, I was gonna read that in just a second. Go
well,
ahead.
I always thought it was interesting because they were talking about how,
Okay, here, Dave.
like, if you want it to hold together, you probably need the
Should I do it with my eyes
73%.
closed?
Sure.
Like if you need to make a hamburger out of it.
Okay.
But that if you're using spaghetti or stuff like that, that the 93 would work okay, but it won't stick
Are you
together
just
on
gonna
its
feed it to
own
me?
because there's not enough fat.
But the thing is, if you get all the fat out, it doesn't matter. Because,
Well, there's some fat that stays in all three of them.
I know, but if you get the fat out, it doesn't matter because it still crumbles. You can see they all crumbled just as well. Okay, close your eyes.
No, I want.
Oh,
No,
and when
I
you
don't
make
know
a
which one's
hamburger, you
which.
don't. You don't cook the
So
fat
if
out
you
of
don't
it.
tell me, then
Okay.
I won't probably know it.
Try that one.
Oh, yay. Okay, Meme, I got the note of that.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see.
It's like
that
cheeseburger quality right there.
Cheeseburger roll quality. Okay.
Do we want to let it sit for a few minutes or no?
Why?
I just for those people that aren't sure.
Hold up.
So,
Trying to think.
the moral of the story while Dave's doing the taste test is, no matter how you fry it up, 70% is always cheaper.
Don't worry, no one else
It's
is gonna
always
use that.
cheaper.
Oh,
Okay.
you want me to just...
Okay, do that one. Which one tastes better? Here, sorry. Okay.
No.
let me see.
Definitely.
No,
this
Buster
one.
did not die. I don't know
This is the
who's
best one?
I think this one tastes the best.
good enough
Oh,
for
really?
us. He did not. He's walking around here actually because he smells hamburger.
I think that one tastes the best. Because it goes
Pardon?
not so great, better, and best, in my opinion. Don't worry, my spin's here.
So Rosemary says fat does not evaporate, only the water in the beef evaporates.
Well, something evaporated.
I definitely feel like that one was the best.
Interesting. So, this was a 70, 80, and 90. Dave likes the 90 taste better, which means he's going to be a steak man.
See, now we need to set it on fire and see which one burns faster so we tell how many calories they have. Did you know that's how they determine calories?
So,
It tastes good though.
don't be sticking your
Oils
spoon
do
in there right now.
evaporate. They
Hold
just don't evaporate as quickly.
Yeah.
That's my bowl. No.
So I just checked to see on that.
Okay, so here are a couple of facts that I found. First of all, no matter what way you fry it up, the 73% is always cheaper. Always, always, always. We've proven it. I knew that because I did this experiment for our family about 10 or 15 years ago. I don't know, a long time ago. Because I was curious what was actually the best. And the 73%, when I did it before, it was the same answer.
I'm not gonna take
And
that.
so,
I'm gonna stick this in.
oops, open another bowl.
That's sweet.
So the 73% is always a better deal. So if you guys are going from a, oh, I had one right here. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry. So if you're going from a strictly money point of view, then the 73% is a better deal by a long shot. So,
Oh, but that one gave me a lot
Okay.
more heartburn. Oh.
there. Okay. So,
If we rinsed it, would it take the taste away? Somebody was wondering.
well, I don't know. I've been rinsing it for the last 20 years. So does it take the taste away?
Do you season it afterwards? Mm-hmm. Oh, because no?
Okay, so I'll tell you how I
think
make
if
it.
you had seasonings on it and you rinsed it, some of the seasonings would come off.
Well, yeah, definitely. So what I do is I fry it up, and then I drain it over some water to get some more of the fat out. And then I put it back in the pan, and I cook it to let some of the water evaporate. And then I season it and use it. So that's how I use it.
You know, well, and people were asking about is one better for you or healthier? To be honest, probably slightly more. It's probably slightly more heart healthy if you have a problem
Oh
with
no,
that.
I have an answer for that. Hold on, right here. Okay, so the Canadian Beef Council, I knew that question was going to come. I was prepared.
You were,
I was prepared.
dude.
I know. Okay, so
Not as much as I thought.
the Canadian Beef Council said this on that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You're not having flashbacks, are you? Okay.
I wasn't until you reminded me. Okay, go ahead.
The 90% lean has 149 calories. 80%, well, this is 83%, has 168 calories.
70%.
70% has 189 calories. And the 70% that has been rinsed in hot water only has 155
Which is
calories.
the same as the 90.
Which is the same basically as the
So
90.
if you don't rinse it, then the 70% has 26% more calories.
Yes, but if you rinse it, it has the same amount of calories as the 90%.
And this was with Canadian, so if they want to look
the
it
Canadian Beef Information Center.
up. Cool. But what I was going to say on that anyway is, for people if you have like a heart condition or a medical condition where your doctor says you absolutely can't have fat, then you probably want to be as cautious as you can. But for most people, if one's slightly more than the other, it's not really going to hurt you. And to pay double for it, wow.
Yeah, it is not worth paying almost double.
It's kind of like, I was thinking about in the United States, they have, here there's gas on varying levels. There's regular unleaded, there's mid-grade unleaded, there's high-grade unleaded, and then there's unleaded that doesn't have, what is the corn stuff in it?
Ethanol.
Doesn't have ethanol in it.
We're going to talk about packaging just a second.
I was doing the math on those gas things, and we tried to use them, and BJ and I did a study where we tested, let's run this kind for 4 or 5 tanks, let's run this kind for 4 or 5 tanks. And in the end, there wasn't a whole lot of difference in how much mileage we got, but the price is dramatically higher. So it was slightly better, but the dramatic difference in the price made it worth using more of the other gas.
When I did
even though it's only a tiny bit more.
So I just did this experiment.
So this is a similar thing.
Yeah, I just did this experiment last month with the gas, and I got 23 miles to a gallon when I did regular unleaded, and when I did the premium, I got 23.9. So it's not worth the extra cost. Okay, so let's talk about what do I do with this ground beef when I'm done with it. So I usually buy 10 pounds of 73% at a time.
Sorry, we're getting a few more questions about the taste. What this is Tara makes it like this and then seasons it with like taco seasoning or whatever. So if you're making an actual hamburger, you obviously can't rinse that or that's going to take the taste out.
Yeah.
But if you're making taco meat or ground meat for some purpose, then you can season it. You can season it some way, you cook it, and some of that will rinse off. But then you can season it again with a little more, and that'll bring it back.
But if you're grilling for like hamburgers, then the 73% is still a better deal because all that fat just drains off when you're grilling. So that's another. Oh dear. That's another way to look at it. Okay. Yeah. So how do I package this?
Uncle Dave says, Jack! You have some birthdays too.
Okay. Oh yeah, we had a birthday. I was supposed to talk about that. Okay, so how do I package this? Now, a lot of people will use freezer bags, and that's fine, but they're really super expensive. I don't do that. Now, a lot of people will use the sandwich bags, and that's fine. I don't do that either. What I do is I use these little fold top sandwich bags. Now this was 150 of them for, okay, can you do the math?
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, where'd my calculator? Here, I got the calculator. Okay, so I got 150 of these.
Your brother says smother with ketchup, they'll all taste the same. Uncle Dave.
That's my brother.
Make us laugh.
Okay, so I got 150 of these baggies for $1 divided by 150. So that's 0.006 cents. Well, how would you say that? A sixth of a cent?
0.006? Yeah, it's 6 cents of a cent.
Okay.
Which means?
So a half a cent, basically.
So
it's a little over a half a cent for these flip top sandwich bags, not the zipper ones. Now the zipper ones, I got 100 for, I think it was $2.69. Okay. Divided by 100. Oh, that was easy. What was I doing that for?
Yeah, Karen says now they say fat is good. It's true.
Yeah. So this is 0.02%, 2 cents. So 2 cents for each of these, okay? 2 cents and a half for each of these. So a half a cent, 2.5 cents, okay? These are around 50 cents per bag, okay? So how do I save money packaging up the meat? What I do is, first of all, if I have leftover foil from cooking something that's clean, or if I use it to cook, like when I make my turkey, I put foil on top of my turkey, I will save my turkey foil, don't touch it, and put all of my turkey leftovers in here, and then I'll put some turkey gravy. Did you need something? No, that's really cool. I see. And I will put some turkey gravy on here, and if I have vegetables, I'll put vegetables around. and then I will fold the top over. Now Mike's going to give you guys a link to our freezer. We have a freezer guide on what things cook in the freezer, some freezer meals that double, that kind of thing. And these tips are in there, but
what do I do with it?
then I'll just fold this up if I have used foil. If I don't have used foil, like this is still perfectly good to cook with, then what I do is I take the 1/2-cent bag,
It was Alyssa's birthday yesterday.
and I just put in some ground beef. I do it in about 1/2 pound increments, okay? And this one, we took about 1/2 pound out for the boys. Okay, so there we go. Then what I do, I just fold it over and then I put all these in one of these. You guys got that? So I just, oops, I'm sorry. So I just make these little packets and I put it in here. So then when I'm making chili or cheeseburger rolls or bean goulash or whatever, then I already have my hamburger pre-cooked and pre-made for, no more, pre-cooked and pre-made for dinner. Now, tonight, I'm making sloppy joes. And I forgot to tell Mike to get that recipe, but tonight I'm making sloppy joes for dinner. So, I know. So I'm gonna leave probably 1/2 pound or 3/4 of a pound. Probably 1/2 pound. Because it is going to be our dinner tonight. But
Okay,
I'll go ahead and package up the rest of them.
I'm sharing the freezer guide link now. Sorry for the delay. It was a little while before the show, so we have a lot of birthdays today.
Oh, great.
So I hope our candles can hold out. Let's see.
All right, so then I just package all of them up. This way, I can reuse my freezer bag. It doesn't get greasy. It doesn't get nasty. Now, here's a tip, guys. Please, please, please do not ever reuse bags that have had raw meat in them. That is just a practical safety tip. You cannot, unless you bleach them, and then bleach does kind of mess with the integrity a little bit. Not too bad, actually. But,
well, even considering the price of the bag, the potential for contaminating something is not
50
worth saving
cents.
it.
50 cents is a lot cheaper
Then go to the hospital.
to throw away than having to go to the hospital.
Okay, I'm sharing the
So,
sloppy joe recipe Tar mentioned now as well. And
please don't reuse bags that you have put raw meat in. It's just not worth getting food poisoning over. And don't get those reusable silicone bags either.
not for meat.
Not for
You
meat.
can use it for applesauce and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's been a problem where people use those reusable grocery sacks and they get their meat in there and they don't clean them. Well, no, those, I'm just saying another thing here. They don't clean their reusable grocery sacks and there's meat droppings in there. Guys, you gotta wash that stuff. Don't use silicone
So if
bags.
you want to use the grocery sacks that are reusable, you should probably wash them if you've had meat in them, right? Like
Yeah.
in the washing machine.
I would wash them immediately. I just throw them in the washer, but it depends on what kind you have. But, you know, that's what I do.
I've been sharing the links in the comments,
Mess.
but if you've missed any of the links that we've talked about today, because we've been kind of flying through a lot of that, you can go to livingonadime.com, our website, and click on the show notes link, and it will be on the show notes link until the next show. And if you're watching later, you can just go to livingonadime.com and search,
There you go.
and you'll find that.
Okay, so I had like 3 other things. I got a huge haul at
We had
Big
some
Lots.
questions and comments
Okay,
too, and
just a second.
birthdays.
I got a huge haul at Big Lots, but I'm not going to be able to get that done today because we ran out of time. Well, I don't know. Actually, we started late.
So
But
Kathy says those bags allow for freezer burn and bad freezer flavor.
no, they don't. Kathy, you're not paying attention. Pay attention, girlfriend. I put them in a regular freezer bag. It will not freezer burn when it's in the freezer bag. That takes care of that.
So
don't.
So they're not freezer burned in these because you put it in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Actually,
to
I didn't
mention.
think about that.
Not to mention, I sometimes will just throw these in if I know that I'm in the next week or two I'm going to be using them. You don't get freezer burn. You get freezer burn after having your meat in there for like 4 to 6 months, not for just a few weeks or a couple of months.
To Kathy's defense, she may not have seen the rest of it by the time.
Oh,
when you were first
yeah.
putting it
If
in
you
there.
didn't see that, I apologize. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Yes.
So
That's probably true. All right. So let me get my soap, and I'm going to sit down and.
oh my! It looks like we missed some birthdays too.
Oh my goodness. How many birthdays do we have?
Well, if we count the ones we missed and the ones that are coming up, it's like 15. No, I don't know if it's that many. Let's see. Oops. We may have to do this in stages.
Oh, great.
Happy birthday to everyone, but we'll grab the candle here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8
Wow.
birthdays?
Wow. Well, happy birthday, everyone. We'll have
Man,
to
there
grab
must
our
have been
candle
some
out.
spring storms in March.
Let me see if I missed any comments over here.
Okay. Let's see. What was I doing? Okay, let me get my soap, and then we will do happy birthdays and stuff.
Well, we do have almost 500 people.
Well, so actually, as far as the hamburger thing, just as a follow-up, I would say, even if you assume that there was some sort of an error, which there probably wasn't, it still is such a dramatic difference. It would still be less.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's still just way cheaper, no matter how you.
Well, and some people were
How you
talking
do
about
it?
hamburger being really expensive. You know, I've always loved hamburger, but I just eat a lot less of it because the cost is so high.
Yeah, we just don't really eat hamburger anymore because it's just so expensive that we just eat chicken. But yeah.
Your brother says sing happy birthday in one breath.
Oh man. Okay, so here's my soaps I made this weekend. I decided to make it without going live. Aren't those pretty? Pretty. I'm gonna cut them here. All right, where did our candle go?
Oh, thank you, Kathy. Kathy says I'm a professional cook over 20 years. Love your show. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
So Laurel,
Birthday candle.
the test that we just did, it showed that the 73% was much less expensive. And what we did is we got a pound of each. Tara told what the prices were at the beginning. She'll probably end up making a post about this later, right? And then she cooked all 3 of them at the same temperature for the same amount of time, and then we weighed them to see. And actually, it was kind of odd that the lowest fat one lost more weight than the others. But there was a dramatic difference in price between the 93% and the 73%. Oh, no. Oh, sorry. Do we want to answer a few more questions before we get into the soap? Hold on a second. Do you want him to tilt down a little?
Oh,
Wow,
we don't
that
have
soap
to.
is flaming.
Oh.
Go ahead and tilt down just a little, Dave.
Are we doing happy birthday first?
Oh,
Or
yeah,
question
yeah.
first?
We can do happy birthday first.
Okay, do
Up
we
a
have the
little.
list of names?
Up a little. Yeah, so how are we going to do this? So it's Meme, Susan.
All these
Sorry,
people here?
I said Wenda, but it's actually, Wenda was asking us to do it for Lucy because she can't watch it right now. Paige, Carol, Alyssa, Kimberly, Dixie, Lori, and Kathy. All
Okay,
right.
here we go.
Wait, not Kathy. Sorry, Kathy is a professional cook. Sorry. So Lori is the last one. So we're going to do them all in one song?
Wait, did you do Alyssa?
Yeah.
Or Alyssa?
What's this name?
Meme.
Meme?
I assume it's Meme.
I thought it was Mimi.
I think I'm going to say Meme because Meme is usually M-I-M-I.
Oh, okay.
But I could be wrong. So
Would
if
it
I'm
be the
wrong,
first
correct
time?
me. Yeah.
Get the new candle.
I can't find the other one.
You can?
Huh, it just disappeared.
There you go.
Okay, you ready?
Ready for birthdays?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mimi, Susan, Lucy, Paige, Carol, Eliza, Kimberly, Dixie, and Lori. Happy birthday to you. Woo!
Yay!
Jessica Davis wants to know if you have any lunch school ideas.
Yes, we actually have an article on on school lunches.
Livingonadime.com. I'll try to get it in a minute here. Just, is there
Oh,
a difference
this is emulating my mood before we started.
So I've seen a lot of people asking, not here, but there are a couple people that ask here, is there a difference between ground chuck and ground hamburger?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Huh. So we have to might check on that one.
I don't know. I would assume I would think chuck would be like chuck steak or chuck roast, like from a particular cut, and hamburger would be like different pieces all ground together, but I don't know for sure.
Patty said when I make shepherd pie, I let my ground beef drain in a colander for half an hour beforehand.
Yeah.
Robin said, love the towels hanging on your oven. Where did you get them? Is that on our Amazon thing?
No, I got them at a craft fair that a lady was clearancing out demos.
Those are cute. So you don't have a place where you can get them?
I don't.
Sorry.
Jimmy wanted to know where your new one is. The new one she made you.
My new apron?
No, the new candle.
Oh, I have it in my soap room because I was saving it for this one to dye. But I didn't want to walk all the way over there to get it.
So Jamie, I was gonna drill in the middle and put a different candle in there.
No, she gave me another one.
Since she gave you a new one, her a new one.
I was just trying to see how far that one would go.
I see. Tracy asks, so do you take your husband to the grocery store with you?
No, I don't.
Although she sends me to the store sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm the kind of person that I don't like browsing at the store. So
No.
Tara will give me a list and I will get nothing but what's on the list. And if I get there, I'm usually pretty good at saying, wow, this is a lot less and this is something else. But if there's any confusion, I will call Tara and say, on this particular thing, does it matter if it's this or this?
Yeah.
But in general, isn't it helpful to have me go and
It
sit
is,
with you?
yeah. This one's oatmeal, milk, and honey, guys. Oatmeal, milk, and honey. Now, if you want to eat better and spend less, you need to get our Dining on a Dime cookbook.
I totally forgot.
Your family will love the recipes. We have tons. If you want to use the ground beef from today, we have tons of great recipes in there. A couple of really good ones are the Sloppy Joes and the Made Rights and the chili. Those are all really, really good. And they're simple with ingredients you already have.
Alyssa says, thank you for the birthday song. You're welcome.
You're
Happy
welcome.
birthday. Chris says Chuck comes from a different cut.
Yeah.
Huh. People say, yes, there's a difference. Somebody says, Jasmine says, in taste. I did not know that. Okay. We forgot to.
What?
If we missed your birthday, we're really sorry, but happy birthday. I'll look and see if anybody else
Happy birthday. I'm sorry.
But happy birthday. Do we have red meat every day? Doctor told me 2 or 3 times a week would be healthier. We don't
No.
even have it 2 or 3 times a week, do we?
We have it like once a week. Yeah.
Just because of the cost. Plus, Mike likes chicken better. I used to like beef better. I don't know what happened to me, but...
I don't know. Mike would eat chicken at every meal, and the boys are like, we're sick of chicken. Okay.
I used to love beef more than anything, but...
So,
So Florida Singularity, Jonathan was wondering about the Instapot. That's not coming till Wednesday, right?
No, Wednesday I'm going to do an Instapot unveiling. I guess Jonathan's going to come see us in Mississippi.
Woohoo, Jonathan! Although Tara was feeling bad, she's like, I hope he's not disappointed. Like, that's a lot to go to come see us. We're like, but I think it'd be awesome to meet you.
Yeah, no, I'd love to meet you. I just hope we live up to your expectations. I don't know what he's expecting.
Laura wants to know.
I think he has a pretty reasonable expectation of us.
Laura wants to know what happened with the school.
What happened with the school? Oh, brother.
Don't get her started.
I don't know if my blood pressure can take it. Wait, there was something else I was going to say. Oh, back to grocery shopping.
Yes.
We were talking on our How to Save on Groceries Facebook group this morning, Heidi and I. And I thought I should go to the grocery store with you and all the kids and just let you guys buy whatever you want and see how much it costs us.
Wait, seriously?
I don't spend that much at the store. Who be the kids?
Do you mean that from your heart?
What do you think? Would that be crazy?
Maybe. Stacy says, just got here, missed the whole show pretty much, but was working on decluttering some things. We'll have to go back and watch later.
Watch it, Stacy. It was good. I was right. I don't get to say that often, but I was right.
Yes. Kirsten, yes, I have lost some weight, although I've been kind of stalled for a little while. But I'm kind of back on the downward trend again today.
Yeah.
So let's see. Great show today. Thank you. Thanks, Shelby. Is winter snow over? Probably not. We get in Colorado on the Front Range, which is just about maybe 40 miles north of Denver. We get
What would you buy?
we get virtually no snow until like the end of December, and then we get it on and off, and then suddenly we get snow though as late as May. And every year I think, oh my goodness, we're getting snow on May 27th. And then I'll go turn on my computer and Facebook will come up and say, look what you were saying last year. And it says, oh my goodness, we're getting snow on May 27th. So I'm realizing every year pretty much we get snow at the end. So this is kind of the beginning-ish part of when we really start getting snow here.
Okay, this one is oatmeal, milk, and honey. Okay, I'll tell the school story. Calm down.
Oh, Chris Scott wanted to know if you're cutting hot or cold process.
Oh, wait,
This is cold process.
Before you do, getting a lot of questions out the book. So I'm going to share the book link again here, and I'll try to remember to share it again as we go. If you can't find it, I'm sharing it in the comments. If you can't find it, you can go, or any other link we've shared in the show, you can go to livingonadime.com and click on the show notes, and it'll be right in there.
So Jack just whispered to me if he went to the grocery store and bought whatever he wanted, it would only probably cost $20 because he doesn't know what he would buy.
Yeah, till you take him in the candy aisle. Then all bets are off. Oh, Heather says, I'm eating honey baked chicken now. It's so good. I think that's our #1 recipe.
It is. Honey baked and maple glazed are our 2 top recipes on our website. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, you do.
How long does the soap last? Tater's asking. Tater Tracy.
It'll last years and years, but when you start to use it, it takes about a month of daily washing in the shower. If you use it every single day, 1 bar will last about a month. So this one's oatmeal, milk, and honey. Isn't that pretty? Smell it. Doesn't it smell good?
Yep. So Susanna is asking, can you get gluten-free refrigerator biscuits like for the cheeseburger dish?
I've never seen them. I don't know.
Because the texture, it's hard to get the right consistency on bread.
I pretty much don't bake anything gluten-free just because it's not worth the hassle. So
Mindy's family's trying to make every single recipe in Dining Out of Dime. She says, made chili tonight. My family loves it from Dining Out of Dime.
That is cool.
So
that is so cool. Wow.
So on the school, we had a question, how many kids do we still have in school?
Thankfully, only 2, because I'm not going to make it any more than that.
Hopefully, it will only become 1 within the next week.
Well, yeah. Next week it may be... Oh!
Jessica's going to look up the recipe now for the honey baked chicken.
Okay, this is not at all what I had thought it would look like, but this is kind of interesting. This is Love Spell. It's a citrusy one.
I'm going to go find that too.
Okay, so do I tell the school story of why we were late and why I was shaking when the show started?
I was shaking before the show started.
So here's the deal. We had already planned on calling the principal because I got yet another notice from the school saying your son has unexcused absences.
So if you're just joining us and you haven't heard this before, we've been having this ongoing saga of David gets sick
We need to make a reality
and
TV
the
show.
school attendance person starts getting kind of pushy with us about him being sick and that we need to go to the doctor and get a doctor's note.
But we pay cash for our doctor's
But we pay cash for our doctor's visit, so it's $200 to take him to the doctor. And in our experience, when we can observe various symptoms that are probably not worth describing on the air, we know that we go to the doctor, they're going to say, rest and fluids. That'll be $200, please. So we just skip that step and we say, rest and fluids. So we don't think it's worth spending $200 just to get the note for their file.
Okay,
Also,
that's the short version.
That's the short version. Now,
wait,
it's been
version.
a continuing thing, and Tara will tell the rest.
I have a quick 5-second thought. We need to make a reality TV show called Oh, the Schools.
Yes, we do. So here's what happened with the school today. So I got another notice in my inbox saying David has 3 unexcused absences. School board policy, according to school board policy, once he has 10, he will not be able to make up his homework. He'll only get 50% credit. And they can go ahead and start calling the police to come to your house for truancy charges. Okay? So I called I went and looked up the school policy because they keep referring to this school policy. So I went and looked up the school policy, and guess what? After the attendance lady has told me 4 times and Mike once that it is required district school
and
policy.
She doesn't just say it in a nice way. She says it in a I'm trying to intimidate you kind of way.
Like, I'm more.
Yeah, she's being a real snit about it.
Okay, I was being gentle.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, I am not taking him to the doctor and wasting my hard-earned money for the doctor to tell me rest and fluids. So if you want me to go ahead and send him to school with a fever, throwing up, and diarrhea, I will. And you can clean it up.
Wait, that's not a good thing for a cooking show.
We're done cooking. So she's like, oh, no, we don't want him to come. So I go and look up the attendance policy at the district. There is not one word about a doctor's note in that district policy. Not one word. I scanned the entire document. The word doctor was never mentioned in the whole document. You can do a find and search. That's how I did it. So I call her back and I said, yes. I said, I have called you and told you that he was not going to be in school because he has a fever. So I want to know why you're telling me I have to have a doctor's note when your school policy doesn't say that. She said, oh, well, I'll give you to the administrator. The administrator called me 15 minutes before school. It was not pleasant.
Before the show.
Or I mean, before the show.
I was like, wait, you can't be talking to them. We have to go on to the show.
So that's why we were late, because I was pretty much yelling at the administrator because she was like, well, we're just trying to help you.
I'm going to be fair, and I'm going to say Tara was not yelling. She was talking. She was
very
talking
firm.
more elevated than usual, but not yelling. Like, she was very firm, and she kept catching her in talking in circles.
She was lying. And they were lying. And I told her, I said, I don't appreciate your attendance lady calling us and intimidating us like we're some kind of neglectful
criminals.
Parents that are going to go to jail for sending our kid to school when you don't want him in school in the first place because he has the flu. Oh, well, we're just trying to help you. I said, no, you're not. I said, I told you he's sick. I also told your lady I'm not going to spend $150 to $200 going to the doctors when I pay cash for it for them to tell me to have him rest. So then she said, well, we're just trying to help you. I said, no. I said, you're lying. It is, your lady would lie to us.
Because she told us that there was no way to get these excused except with going to the doctor and getting a note.
So I told her, I said, I have called you and she has not excused them. And there is nothing saying that you have to have a doctor's note. And I said, he went to school today and we are probably going to go to the doctor because I think he has strep throat. And she was like, oh! And I said, yeah, exactly. I said, I think he has strep now and I hope it gets all over the school because you guys were hollering. Yes, I did.
You didn't say I hope it gets all over the
school.
No, I
did.
You said it's probably going to be all over
Oh, well, it's probably going to be all over school. Excuse me.
You weren't being mean.
It's probably going to be all over school.
You weren't being mean. You were just stating a fact that strep is highly contagious. Hopefully that's not what he has, but we don't know. So anyway, we went around and around, and she was just like, well, we're just trying to help you. I said, no, you're not. And I said, I need to know if you're going to be calling the police and sending them to my house, because if you are, we're taking them out. This is what I told the attendance lady. Because the funny thing is, they'll say they're going to call the police, but you can actually homeschool in Colorado, so I don't understand what that's all about. Yeah. So we ended, and I said, so I don't know what you want to do about this. She said, we'll need to have a meeting. Get this. We'll need to have a meeting. I didn't hear this part, so I'm hearing it with you guys. And have the parents get together with the administration so we can help David with his work. I said, there's nothing to be helped. I said, we are waiting on the teachers to get him his homework, and he is getting it. Everything that he could do over the weekend, he's already done. I said, go look at his grades last semester. She said, well, yeah, they're looking pretty good, A's and B's, but, well, he could be doing better.
I almost smacked her upside the head.
He could be doing better, so he can't be sick.
I said...
Because he just wants to be sick, kids just...
So I said, I don't care if he could be doing better. B's and C's is not bad. I thought he had some A's in there, though. I'm really curious about that.
Wait, you just said A's and B's. Now you're saying B's and
Or
C's?
he had B's and C's, she said. But I thought he had A's and B's. Can you go look real quick? Now I'm wondering if she's telling the truth. So then she said, well, this semester, he's got D's and F's. I said, this semester started 2 weeks ago, and he's been gone an entire week and hasn't been able to turn out his work. Of course he's going to have D's and F's. This is not rocket science.
She was saying, this is not rocket science, people. I'm like, wait, we're not on the show yet.
I said, it does not take a brilliant person to figure this out. She was like, well, you need to come in so we can make a plan. I said, well, I got news for you. I am not coming in there and wasting my time and energy to sign an attendance contract that says I will get a doctor's note every time he's sick. You can just forget it because I'm not doing it.
Well, and the thing that is really frustrating to us in these situations is it's more about filling out this paperwork and getting this paperwork filled out and having a note and doing all this stuff. It's not about what is the actual effect on reality? Like, what is the actual effect on people in the real world?
Where's his report card for last year?
I have no idea.
Last semester? Is that it?
I don't know how to look on last semester.
I have
Only
it
this
on
semester.
here for last semester.
Look up your report card for last semester. I want to see right
We're all
there.
B's and C's because finals took down.
So what's troubling to us is that it's all about It's all about the paperwork, and not about
Okay.
what they
So
actually
you
know
have
to be.
BC, okay.
Like, they know for a fact that he's a good kid. They know he doesn't do drugs. They know he's not into any of that kind of stuff. They know he's
do
not the
my
type of kid
work.
that generally skips school, and he always does his work, and he's cooperative, and he gets along with everyone. And the kids that are being mistreated by other kids, David treats them all well. So in light of all this, it's like we don't care about all that. We don't care that he's a good student and that he does good things and that we've seen it. What we care about is you didn't get the right paperwork filled out. And I'm thinking, I'm sorry. School should not be about getting caught in bureaucratic mumbo jumbo. I mean, just being stuck in the bureaucracy. It's like the reason we took BJ and Ellie out and homeschooled them for a while. Well, BJ first, but then Ellie asked to be. But when we took BJ out, it was because at that school they were all tied up in the bureaucracy where they had 7 classes and 3 of them were completely unnecessary classes that were there just for bureaucratic purposes. They weren't teaching him math, science, English, history. They were teaching him things like strategies of how other people learn, not how you learn, how other people learn. And I was thinking, if you're going to be a teacher, this is a class you probably need. But if you're a student who has trouble focusing, it's not going to help to learn 8 more strategies or 8 more learning styles that people that don't have your problem
because that'll confuse you
use.
more.
And at that school, they got so bound up in the bureaucracy that they totally missed the fact that he was having major problems reading, with reading comprehension. And that
For years, we fought the school.
So that wasn't caught until after that because they just weren't paying attention to the student. All they were paying attention to was checking off the boxes and filling out the forms. And that just drives us crazy because people say, do it for the kids. I'm thinking, it's not for the kids, it's for the paperwork. And that was where we ran into that problem. And that's the problem we're running into with the attendance thing is, it doesn't matter if he's sick. Well, it does. It doesn't matter that he's sick. It matters that the paperwork is filled out. But on the other hand, it matters that he's sick because you can't bring him. So if you don't bring him to school because we don't want you to bring him here, but if you bring him here, we're going to penalize you. So basically what you're saying is there's a no-win situation. You're just going to try to cause trouble for us for no reason.
Yeah, Deborah says, but if they tell you to keep him home while he's contagious, how do you comply to the contradictory policy?
I know. That's what I told him.
Also, someone earlier, I forgot who it was, sorry, you can tell me if it was you. Someone said you should tell her to pay you the money to get a doctor's note.
I know.
Because, they're just trying to suck your money out.
Jan says I thought he had a chronic illness. No, we have one son who has something we haven't been able to diagnose, and we'd like to think it's not a chronic illness, but it's something that we don't understand what it is. So it's chronic
We
temporary.
haven't gotten a diagnosis yet, and it's been 5 years.
Hoping
so
that it does. It's something that's
something is wrong.
Oh, is that
solved.
for Jake?
My brother said I make sensitive soap, and it's the best he's ever had. I think I paraphrased, but still. Actually, I do have sensitive soap. My brother's always had eczema really bad, and so has BJ. And they both use my soap for sensitive skin. It's the unscented if you go to my Etsy store, and it works really well. So, yeah.
Lori says if you isn't in school, they don't get paid. Well, you know what? The funny thing about that, you're right. But what I think is funny about that is these schools in this district have more days off than any school that we've ever been to.
Also, this school has
160 days they go to school.
But there are a lot of days where they'll go in for 4 hours because I don't know why. But I think the reason why they do is just to be able to say, okay, check the box. Everybody was in school today. And that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, is just the bureaucratic thing.
Also, for my school, there are 2,500 other kids in the school, so why does it matter if I miss a few days and they lose like...
And Stephanie, I do understand that the school has to answer to the state and the state to the Fed, and we have dealt with that as well. But
That's their problem, not mine.
But the thing is, because there was one issue we had to talk to a principal about before, and she was telling me, well, this is the situation we're in. And I'm thinking, yeah, but I'm the advocate for my child, and if I think this is going to harm him, then I have to make sure that he is not harmed because of the bureaucracy. And she said, you're right.
If they're going to let the
She
teachers
said, I'm a
use
parent, and I do that.
Yeah.
So she agreed that, she didn't agree that she should change. She just agreed that as an advocate for my child, I have to do what I think is going to actually make him thrive. And so Danielle says, they suspended my stepson and then acted like we chose for him to miss school. It makes us so mad. I even had to get a note from his dentist to get his 6-month cleaning. Well, somebody else said on here, are there other parents that are like that?
That's the problem. We're the only parents that are standing up to the school. Parents need to stand up.
The parents have the problems, but they just kind of ignore.
They don't say anything.
They kind of ignore a lot of it, and they feel like, well, okay, so it's unexcused absences, but they don't call the police out to your house till you get to 10, so, well, we're only at 8. No, we don't say that. That's what they say. And so but for us, it's kind of like, I don't want to wait till that. There should be an excused absence if you're sick, if you're documentably sick, and the school says don't come in, or you're going to infect all the other kids. So,
you can tell I am livid.
Let's see. What other...
I know, Ramona. It's a flu epidemic. What do they expect? That's exactly what I told her. And she's like, well, we really don't want him at school if he's sick. Well, you're not telling me that.
So Marie says you might have found out if Dave had strep throat if you took him to the doctor last week. He didn't have the strep he didn't have the type of sore throat that you would get for strep last week.
No, this type of sore throat that you get for strep, he didn't start until Friday. So,
and we don't mind taking kids to a doctor when it appears that there is something that the doctor is likely to help.
Well,
but
before my sore throat was just
we thought it was drainage, because every time we go in there, they keep telling me, oh, it's just drainage.
But now it's like to the point to where it feels like it's a strep really bad.
But when so we have to think, are they sick enough that the doctor's going to do something? Because it's frustrating as anything to go to the doctor and spend $200 and have them basically tell you shouldn't have had to come in today because you just go home and give them some fluids and rest. And so, if they have a really high fever, then we think probably bacterial. We should go see if they'll give us antibiotics. If there's something major like that, but if it's things that are less than that, we think, we need to wait a little bit and make sure that this is a doctor thing before we spend the money.
So Sharon said she's pretty sure there's smoke coming out of my ears.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have seen me before the show. This is calm.
Well, the issue that we had too wasn't just that there's some concern at the school. It was the fact that the particular attendance person was basically being a bully.
And she was lying to us. And
and being devious. And doing a lot of passive aggressive things like threatening us, and then when we're threatening Tara. I mean, but the thing is, some of this happened to me last fall with the same lady. Threatening Tara, and then when Tara say, well, don't threaten me, and she's like, oh, I'm not threatening. Yes, you are. That's called passive aggressive, when you threaten somebody in a way that you're communicating that it's a threat, but then you pretend like it's not. And that's not okay.
Yeah, Amy, I told him when the next symptom is diarrhea, we're going to take a picture of it and email it to him to prove it.
That is right.
Mike came up with that one.
Yeah, well, I didn't mean to say that on here.
I think it's brilliant.
But, yeah, Geneva says more about the kids who are actually being neglected. Your kids just got cut in the middle. And that's the thing I was thinking is, in the old days, when we were younger, well, at least in where I was in elementary, they knew you're a kid that doesn't normally have this problem, so we're not too worried about it, and we're not going to hassle everybody. But they also knew that this other kid never comes to school because mom is a drug addict. And they would lean more on those people because they figure you're not bringing your kid to school because of something that's not related to their health. And in those days, they used to make a distinction. But now, they just say, oh, I don't care what your problem is, we're writing you up. It's kind of like group punishment is another thing that we just do not put up with at the school.
I hate group punishments.
If the school says, Susie and Alex are doing something wrong over here, so we're going to punish the whole class, mostly, I mean, if it's a minor thing, like they lose 5 minutes of recess, we don't really mess with that. But if it's a big punishment, like they made Jack write, I'm sorry for doing this thing to this one lunch lady teacher. And I went to the school and I said, my son is never going to write, I'm sorry again. You made him lie. And I said, you made my son lie, going against his conscience, because somebody else did something wrong. And so that whole group think really irritates me, because you get two people doing something wrong, everybody gets punished. So some people abuse the school thing, and so everyone gets punished. But the problem is, like I said, when you have a kid who has a very good reputation, who's highly regarded, gets good grades, treats everybody well, then don't treat him like a criminal.
Well, and somebody asked, why did I think the school was misleading? Because the attendance lady told me it was district policy. You must have a doctor's note if you want your child to be excused after 10 days, and that is a lie. It is not district policy.
So Tara checked the district policy, and there was no mention of it in there. So Tara asked the assistant principal, and the assistant principal said that's not the rule. And then Tara said, well, then your person is lying to us and trying to intimidate us by lying to us. And lying is one of those things that we don't put up with.
Well, and that's the other thing. Nancy's right. The doctor's offices, half the time I call, they won't even let us come in until they've been sick for more than a week.
Yeah.
I had that happen all the time.
Yeah.
And one thing, we can't just call in, because first of all, doctors don't let you just call in now. They won't give you a note. I tried that with the last several times. But now we don't have a doctor, so we have to find a new one. So it's not just as easy as going into a doctor that you've been to for 20 years. We don't have a doctor, so...
Well, and one thing, nobody's brought this up, so I'm glad, but we're not necessarily speaking about everyone at the school either. Like, this is one particular person, and we had a problem with one particular teacher early in the last semester, although I guess two particular people now in this one, because Tara talked to the assistant principal, who was kind of talking in circles too. Well, at least not being intimidating like the other person, but talking in circles. And Tara had very little patience for that.
I don't have any patience for it.
Usually
this is child number 4 going through this. I am done with their baloney, and I'm not putting up with it. You send the police to my house. Go ahead. That's it. Bring your waiver, because they're out of school that day.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done. I am not going to mess with you people. Now let's see where you get your money from.
But it's just, yeah, they are contradicting themselves, Denise. So, and this is it, again, if you're a teacher, we're not saying all teachers or all administrators or whatever, but certain people really can get in there and do stuff. And the problem is nobody does anything because nobody says, hey, this is a problem. So...
Yeah.
So
anyway,
I noticed, Susan says, I noticed you keep smelling the soap all the time. What does it smell like?
Oh, this one is Love Spell. I was gonna make soap on the show because I have some I need to do, but I'll wait and do it on Wednesday. I'm just too hacked, and I'm afraid I might mess it up.
So
I know when they have the flu for 3 weeks. David has been sick. Let's see. This is day number 7, 8, 9. This is day number 10 for David being sick.
yeah, Steals, Deals, and Meals says, I work in a school, have kids in school. It stinks the things that go on. School politics. I worked for government a number of times, and I think that's partly where I really learned to greatly dislike bureaucracy. And if you don't know what bureaucracy is, it's where you say, man, if we do this, this will solve all our problems. And they say, wait, you have to fill out this form and give it to so-and-so who has to go do a study and fill out another form and do something else, when everyone can clearly see this is the solution, but you have to go fill out all this paperwork. It doesn't really matter if the solution ever happens as long as the paperwork happens. And that's something I see as partially the issue here. So, yes, Kathy, he does want to be homeschooled.
Okay, awesome.
Although we've done it before, and in some ways it'd be good, but it'd be nice not to have to, especially since a lot of our property tax pays for the school, and we haven't been able to use the other schools in town here for similar reasons.
Well,
so, not for the sick reason.
Well, another reason I think it'd be great to homeschool is because they don't teach us about anything in real life. They never teach you how to do your taxes, or how to pay off your bills, or how to become a mom, or how to cook, or do any of that.
I hope you're not going to
I was going to say, maybe I don't want him to teach you that.
Well, I mean, no, but still. Doing your bills is like an essential thing for everyone who grows up.
It's funny because, thank you, Baker Mom, I appreciate that. She said
Crazy.
more dads should be like you. I appreciate that.
And Mike has been very good about this. Don't get me wrong. He's called the school. It just happened. I answered today.
I normally get the point across in a bold way without them feeling like I'm... Ah! But nevertheless, I get the point across. And when I did on an issue we had at the beginning of the year, they said, wow, that was pretty tough. And I said, well, I'm the good cop. If my wife has to come in, watch out.
And the lady was like, oh... Well, she say something like, well, I'm glad you came in, or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about, because a number of people are talking about the group punishment thing. Yeah, the thing about group punishment is, I was thinking, because I had some difficult times growing up, and I'm overly sensitive to being punished for things I didn't do because of some of that. And I think with the group punishment, it's kind of like when we were doing dog training, and I know kids aren't dogs, but nevertheless, if you kick a dog, and you kick a dog, and you kick a dog, I'm not saying you should ever kick a dog, but like, let's say you're just walking along and you don't see the dog, and you kick him because you're walking along and he's there. Normally, a dog will say, man, if every time I lay in this spot, people don't see me and they hit me. But if you just go randomly kick a dog, the dog's going to freak out because it has no idea what's happened. And I'm not saying you should ever kick a dog again. What I'm saying is, in the same way, if you punish a child for doing something wrong, like if a kid's misbehaving and cussing at the teacher and that child doesn't get recess, that child connects, I don't get recess because I did this to the teacher. But if you punish all the kids for that, then the kid that's not doing anything learns, no matter what I do, I'm going to get punished, so I might as well not do something good. And I know I got punished in elementary school one time because one of my friends and I, the whole class was doing something, and we tried to separate ourselves from the problem in the 3rd grade. And the best way we knew how to do that was to wait outside the door of the classroom until the teacher got back. But we were the two that got punished and nobody else did. And after that, I was a devious child in school after that for a while. I did a lot of things because I thought, why should I not have fun with the other kids when I'm trying to do the right thing, but I get punished for it? And I think that's what they don't understand with the group punishment is, if you punish kids who are not doing anything wrong, what they learn is, no matter what happens, I'm going to get punished. So therefore, what's the point of doing the right thing?
Yep.
So, and it's funny because the thing with David is, if we were to homeschool him, which we probably will at some point, he's already working for the business, producing the show. Which, when I was a television producer, what he's doing is similar to what I did. He's learning motion graphics and graphic design and actually doing it. And if we were to homeschool him, we probably would try to help him find some clients in that. So in addition to learning math and science and history and all the important things like that, he would also be learning this is how to make money at a career in your life when you get older. And so, I mean, but at the same time, it would be nice if we didn't have to spend the time.
Yeah. Well, so then she tried to pull.
Amy.
I forgot to add this. So then she tried to pull the. Well, now when he gets out of high, she said, "What does he want to do after school?" I said, "He is in the 9th grade. He's 14 years
He wants to
old."
play video games after school.
I said he doesn't have to make that decision now.
Yeah, they tried to force
She
it.
said, "Well, some kids do try to make that. Some kids do know." I said, "Listen, don't give me that baloney about going out into the real working world and that baloney about how you have to go to college to make it in life." I said, "I know that is not true, and I also know that you get sick when you're working and you get sick when you're in college. You know what? That's life. You're not going to be able to have perfect attendance at work.
And we don't
You shouldn't be skipping around, but when you're legitimately sick, you're going to be legitimately sick."
Well, and with our kids, if they have a little sniffle or a little headache, we give them some medicine and we send them to school. But if they have a sore throat and they have a fever and they have other symptoms I don't want to describe, they're throwing up and stuff, I didn't describe the one I didn't want to describe, then it's pretty clear that they're sick, and we don't make them go to school. But as parents, especially me, because when I was a kid I did try to fake it some, well, Tara's good at sniffing out the fakery too. So we know we don't let them stay home when they're faking it.
Baker mom says you get to give Dave school credit for his business training education.
I know. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, and he's getting a lot of real life practical experience doing it with us now.
And he gets to talk with people who are amazing and have awesome ideas.
Yeah.
So that's awesome too.
Let's see, is there... question in the ground beef. Yes, we did a test. We did 73%, 80%, and 93%.
And the winner was
73%.
is always the best deal.
It was a lot less expensive.
It was half the price.
Half the price. The 80% was in the middle.
Yeah.
But in the end, we ended up with about the same amount of ground beef. And we looked on the Canadian Based Beef Information Center has statistics on calories, and if you rinse the 70%, according to what they say, the calories are almost the same as the 90% if you cook it and then you rinse.
So Ramona says, "My 2 sons have master's degrees and can't use them." Yes. I have very little respect for college because I have seen so many people. I get email after email after email. I am in hawk up to my eyeballs with student loans, and I can't pay them, and I'm working for FedEx and I'm working for UPS, which actually are very good jobs. So if you have that much debt, you really need to get your finances under control. But that's a whole nother story.
Well,
you
sorry, before we go, I want to
need to make sure if you're going to go to school, you do it debt-free. And yes, you can do it debt-free. Don't give me that baloney. You can. And that you're actually going to use it. Don't waste 4 years going to college to get a degree that you may or may not use. Get something you're going to use. Otherwise, use that 4 years to start your own business and figure out what you're going to do.
Like me.
Well, and as somebody who has a college degree, my siblings and I all got college degrees. There were 3 of us. I used my college degree for 20 years.
But it didn't pay very well.
And I used it for 20 years, and it didn't pay very well because it was television production. But nevertheless, it didn't pay very well. But what I noticed immediately after I graduated college is, wait, I know brilliantly how to do television production. I have no idea how to get a job. And it took like 3 or 4 years for me to figure out how to work in that field because I didn't have any training on that. And I kind of feel like the school should do that, but they taught me a lot of other classes I didn't need at all. But then my siblings, one of them never used the degree, and the other one didn't use it for, 10 years? But then did use it professionally and is making money doing that. But in the end, Tara had 4 cousins. None of them had degrees, right? And most of the 20 years that I was working in my professional field, they made a lot more money than me without a college degree. And so I realized part of the problem is college is useful if you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer or something that really needs it. But a lot of people are just being told college is the new high school, spend $200,000. It is not the new high school. What you learn, if you go to a decent high school or even a decent middle school, what you learn is generally enough life skills to get through life. But if you have something you need a lot more education in, like being a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, go to college for that. Although a lot of times it's better to go to if it's certain levels of things, a trade school might be better, or maybe community college before regular college, because there's a lot of, like, community colleges, I notice, tend to have more professional people, because there are a lot of them are adults going back to school. So I would do that and then switch into college. And the only reason Emily is going to the 4-year school is because it's all paid for her.
And it's her choice. They're not going to force
And she decided she wanted to do that.
Well, we're not going to force our kids. If our kids want to go to college, we're not going to force them.
We wouldn't force them not to.
We do very much encourage them not to have debt to do it.
But if it wasn't paid for and she had to pay for it, she probably would have done the community college first. And the only reason she's doing the 4 years is just because it's paid for by grants and scholarships. So...
Yeah.
Anyway.
Somebody said, good luck with being a mom, Dave. All right, so the school saga continues. I don't know what the principal's going to say. We're going to go in and have a talk with the principal just because I'm so hacked.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
And I've had conversations with the
ridiculous.
principal before, and it was a very long conversation over a different kind of issue entirely. But in the end, I think we came to a place of understanding with each other. In this case, I think she will assert that attendance is important, but I'm hoping that she can understand that lying to us, that the attendance person lying to us and using intimidating language intentionally over and over again is not okay. So we'll see how that goes. But nevertheless, she has been reasonable with me before. So we'll see how that goes. Marie says it's a shame there aren't technical high schools like back in the day. Yeah, that's another thing.
We do have one here.
Having gone to a 4-year school, I know people say it's about the rounded education or whatever, and they told us that when I was in college. But honestly, I went to the University of Texas and got a degree in radio, TV, film, and my film classes were great for my degree. I took some art that was helpful for my degree, some communication, things like that. I didn't take any business classes. I didn't have any idea that would be helpful. Nobody bothered to tell me. But I took a whole lot of classes in things that were completely useless because they were required to check off the boxes. And in the end, those things never helped me. But, so, yeah, simply joyful. If the school watches the show to prepare for the meetings, somebody better give them a hint that it's not till the later part. They're going to be watching for a long time.
Okay, so the argument...
National Brownie Day. Thank you, Denise.
Okay, so we're still having questions on the meat. Go back to the beginning, but we have proven it doesn't matter what the fat content in meat is. 73% meat is still cheaper by 50% than buying the other meats. So, if you're wondering what the verdict is on that between 93%, 80%, and 73%, 73% is cheaper by 50%. You save 50% buying 73% meat. So, don't buy any meat over 73% anymore.
Thank you, Jasmine. I appreciate that.
See, I told you were good at that.
Yes.
We're trying to find... Okay, everybody, we gotta go. We're hungry. I'm starving. But what is Mike's strengths? Mike's trying to figure out his strengths so he can work on his strengths.
Do I have strengths?
What is your strengths?
Definitely not cooking.
Oh, wait.
Okay, let's see.
I'm waiting for Stunningly Handsome.
Oh!
I haven't seen it yet.
Man!
Just kidding.
We're looking... Mike, go have some chocolate.
She's the one that said... Denise is the one that said it was National Brownie Day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Turret, I'm so sorry it's 2 in the night. You could please...
Go to bed and watch it later.
go to bed. We so much like having you on, but yeah, you don't have to stay up that late. But I appreciate that you did.
Susan says your strength is your smile and you're positive.
I am?
Wait, Paula wants to know how much beef.
Yes, Ramona, we weighed the meat. Nancy, he's balanced and rational.
You
Kimberly,
think I am?
you're jello. Susanna, eloquent. Ramona. Yeah, see,
Stunningly
Betty, you
handsome.
say you won't eat that, but it's a lie.
Yep.
73% fat. The fat's not in there. We
Yeah.
weighed the beef. The fat is gone. So it's just, you're not believing the truth. So you need to believe the truth. The truth is 73% does not have more fat than
They said
the 80 or 90%. Diplomacy. Oh, you're good. Oh, you're supportive of me. You're happy.
Diplomacy.
Let's see.
Communication.
What else?
Would Paul Hurt agree?
Let's see. What else do we have here? You spread happiness. You're charming. He keeps calm and explains things. What scent is the soap?
Laura
June.
says stunningly handsome. I knew it was coming. Thank you.
Except he's my stunningly handsome. Let's just get that straight. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
Oh, thank you. I love my wife. Kind and patient.
Okay, so now how do
Am I
we turn
always
his
kinda
strengths
patient?
into money? Actually, I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Patience.
Although what I'm doing for living on a dime is not. I mean, the on-air part probably is partly my strength, but the stuff I do behind the scenes, probably other people could do it better than me. Not all of it, but a lot of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what we're trying
Let's
to
see
figure
what
out.
else
Is
they
because
say.
partly.
You're very cheery.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Oh, hey, we have had a few questions about what scent is the soap?
This one is Love Spell, and this one is oatmeal, milk, and honey. And that smell divine. And hopefully I'll get my computer back this week, and next week I'll start my soap.
And I forgot to mention, Rosemary
Again.
asked a little while ago, do you make a shampoo bar soap?
I don't. I need to get one made, but I don't have one right now. So, yes, you have integrity. You're honest. That's very good.
Yes.
You don't lie,
Yay.
at least that I know of.
I stand for what I think
I'm
is
just
just.
kidding. Yes.
Nobody
Yeah.
said that. but I'm
These
sure.
bars are approximately 4 ounces after they're dried.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Jonathan says, Mike is just plain intelligent, patient, generous. For a moment, I needed to adjust my glasses. I thought that said gorgeous. Like, generous. I'll take generous.
Wait, what were the other ones? We missed
Oh,
them.
sorry. I was going to copy all this.
Hold on, let's see.
Mike for president.
Mike keeps his priorities in order. Very good.
Thank you. Keep smiling even when you've only eaten 600 calories.
Very good.
Although it's National Brownie Day, I don't know. Oh, thank you, everyone. You two
Wow.
compliment each other.
Mike for president.
Can I run the White House snack bar? Sure, Jonathan. I have to make you. Could that be a cabinet position?
Oh, there you go.
All right.
All right, guys, we're going to
Empathetic,
go.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go pass out now. Today has really worn me out. Today has been one of those days where you're just like, is it ever going to end? We had a good live stream, though, with our new virtual assistant, Heidi, over on our How to Save on Groceries Facebook page. If you guys want to go check it out, we introduced her today. We finally got on. I got her on with me, all by myself.
Woohoo. See? I'm not needed.
I had someone write out instructions, and I actually followed them.
Jonathan Simply Joyful said you could be the kitchen cabinet. A toothpaste model. Thank you. And Nevo says I could be a toothpaste model with my stunning smile.
Oh,
Yay.
brother. I think we should record the principal visit.
Please do.
Actually, to be honest,
I'm kidding. I'm only kidding.
I'm
The
just going
principal
to say
seems reasonable.
my past
She seems
experience with her
reasonable,
has
yeah.
been positive, so I'm somewhat optimistic.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
principal is like the nicest out of all the staff there. So
Yeah.
if she
Oh,
goes
then
below me,
then she
you'll be
pulled the.
surprised.
Well, have you seen our new attendance initiative? I'm like, what is that going to do for him having the flu?
Initiatives and meetings and policies and
Stupid. It's just stupid. Just plain stupid. Okay. So visit us at livingonadime.com.
Thank you, everybody. We're sure glad you were here. I'm I'm going to repeat one more time. We did share some links through the show that people were asking about and some that Tara just mentioned, including
Description below.
our honey baked chicken recipe, which is our apparently most popular recipe. And on the show notes, if you can go to livingonadime.com and click on show notes, and you can get that there. So, yay. All right.
Okay, so now you need to read all those, and you can figure out your strengths.
I'll be like, oh,
And you can focus on those.
I'm not a reject. Just kidding.
Oh,
No, you never said I was. I'm not saying you did.
I have worked 23 years making sure you're not a reject.
Okay.
This one's the love spell, guys. Somebody asked.
Ooh,
We'll see you guys
put it on
later.
here? Oh.
Whoa! Yeah, I like to make sure my man smells good. All right, see you guys later. Bye. You gotta click it off.
I'm trying to click it off, but I'm stuck. Okay.
You're stuck. There's medicine for that.
All right, goodbye, everyone, before this gets really out of control. I see how you are.